Hi guys, it's me Dustin and I'm doing okay. Today I want to talk about the issues with the Metro Transit city buses. Me as a disabled person, thank God where my mom helped me move to, I have multiple options. I do have Metro Mobility, the ride sharing service for people with disabilities. Okay, if I want to go out to Brooklyn Park, or if I want to go to Brooklyn Center, if I want to go to Maple Grove, I just have to call, make an appointment like 3 days ahead of time. And they'll call me the night before if they can accept my appointment or not. And Metro Mobility is not so reliable because my friend Paul and Tyler, they live in an area where there's no city buses and they can't really rely on it to get them to work because, they'll tell you, hey, we can't pick you up, but your boss is still going to expect you to be at work the next day. And then you have to beg your loved ones or take an Uber or a taxi to drive you to work. Because if you don't, you're going to get fired. So my friend Paul and my friend Tyler have been telling me the struggles of relying on Metro Mobility for work and as a disabled person. And I'm like, nope, not going that route. I'll use it to go to the mall in Maple Grove. I'll go use it to Champlin to visit my friend Paul. I'll use it to go have fun, but I'm not going to use it as my daily driver. So my mom helped me get a place in Columbia Heights, so I'm right along the city bus, and I have Metro Mobility options. And so I can get all the way down to Burnsville, I can get down to Shakopee, I can get to West St. Paul, I can get out to White Bear Lake, all the way out to White Bear Boyle Lake, all on the city bus systems. So I'm blessed with that. It's going to take me forever to get all the way down to Burnsville, but I can still do it. And the city bus is way more reliable than taking Metro Mobility. I'm going to say, but for someone who's disabled, taking the city bus has a lot of risks that just staying home and living off Social Security is sometimes easier. And just if Metro Mobility gets you at home, it gets you out of the house. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Because me as a disabled person, I face a lot of issues while taking Metro Transit. And it's not the service itself. Like when I'm standing outside waiting for the 10, like the bus, the thing lowers, I can push my shopping cart full of groceries right onto the bus, sit down, and the bus driver takes me to the stop, and I get where I go. I can pull the rope. The issue with the service is some of the people on the bus, in the train. Some of the people are ridiculous. So this is what my rule is, okay? If the person lives in a suburb, a first-ring suburb, okay, like Columbia Heights, Fridley, Blaine, Robbinsdale, Crystal, New Hope, Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, St. Louis Park, Edina, and Bloomington. If they're waiting for the bus in those suburbs where most people drive cars, you just assume something's wrong with them. Assume they have mental health or some kind of disability, because if you live in the suburbs and you have to take the bus, there's a hint I tell people who drive that there's something wrong with the person. Because most normal people that live in the suburbs that are normal have their finances together enough to afford a nice apartment out in the suburbs, because living in the suburbs is more expensive than living in like downtown Minneapolis right now and downtown St. Paul. So if you're driving in your car, definitely on down University in the suburbs, and you see people standing at the bus stop, you definitely know something's wrong with those people. And I'm one of those, and I have a vision disability, so I'm one of those wrong people, something wrong with me that I can't drive and I have to take a bus. Sometimes it's disabilities, sometimes it's people are not good with their money and because of their disabilities, or sometimes they're low income because they're single and they don't have someone to help split the bills with. Or they're alcoholics, or they have schizophrenia and they're disabled and they can't become like a normal person, like living out in the suburbs. But if you see someone waiting for a bus stop, like just in the suburbs, just assume, I tell sighted people, that something's wrong with them. Because out in the suburbs, most normal people drive a car. If you're normal, you have a car and you drive. So because normal people drive and non-normal people take the city bus, you get people with mental illness, sleeping on the buses and riding on the buses. You have troublemakers who hop on the bus without paying and cause problems. When I was on the bus I was in the 10 going to downtown, right? Because I have to go from the 10 from Columbia Heights to downtown, and then I have to hop on the 18 to go see my friend Cheryl, who lives in a hotel right where Nicollet and American Boulevard meet in Bloomington. So, and she lives on the 18D. So I have to take the 10 to go to downtown, and then I have to hop on the 18 by Target's headquarters to get to Bloomington. So I was on the 10 bus heading towards downtown Minneapolis, and this homeless guy with mental health, he sits next to me, right? I don't care. I'm just listening with my beautiful Beats headphones. I love my Beats headphones because it can make everything from Apple sound beautiful. I'm sitting with my Beats headphones, just looking out the window. I'm sitting in the back of the bus because when I got on, that's the only spot that was available. So I'd rather sit than stand. So then this homeless guy, he had mental health. He's talking about everyone, how the bus poles are stripper poles, and how like we're all going to give him money for tips and blah, blah, blah. And he's amazing. So I just knew he had mental health already. And so he comes and sits next to me. And we're out of Columbia Heights. We're going into Northeast. We're going past the homeless shelter for seniors. And we go past that, and now, like, we're getting into the Hispanic community in Northeast Minneapolis on Central. And then, like, we're just going through there, the homeless guy hops on the bus, and then we're just about to go over the 3rd Avenue Bridge to get into downtown, and this homeless guy farts. And he blames me. And he's a homeless guy with, puffy hair, and African American, like, puffy hair, and afro. Oh yeah, it's called afro. And he's obviously homeless, and you could see his clothes, he smells, something's wrong with him, because it could be mental health or addiction. You could just, after you get used to public transit and you lived in downtown Minneapolis for a year, and your gut instincts kind of pick up what's wrong with people. So then, he just smelled, and then he farted, he blamed me. The next thing he knows, he's insulting me because of my skin color, and then he's insulting me because I'm a male, and then he's attacking me with axe, literally spraying me with axe, like, psst, because that's his weapon of choice. And I'm just like, I'm just going to ignore him. And then the Hispanic people that are sitting in front of me on the bus, they're just like, don't know what to do. And they're just trying to ignore him too, because, you don't want to pick fights with these people with mental health. And the bus driver up front isn't doing anything. So I'm just going to ignore him, let him spray me with axe spray, because I'd be lucky it was axe, so I know it wasn't piss or anything, because sometimes they'll put pee in there and they'll attack you with that. So then, I'm like, okay, good, he's attacking me with Axe, so I'm not going to die. I hate Axe body spray, but I'm not going to die from it, right? So then, like, we get into downtown. He gets off by the library. Technically, down Nicollet Mall, you can hop on the 18 anywhere there. But I'm like, nah, he get off. I'm just going down to the end. Like, Target's, like, no, there's another one by Target. I'm not getting off by the library where he's obviously going. The Minneapolis Central Library. I'll just get off down by the Target's headquarters. The Target headquarters, you could easily know where it is. It's on Nicollet and 9th. So it has like the store, like when you walk in, there's a store on the bottom of it, the first 2 floors, and then then if you take the escalator before you go in the store on the right side, it'll take you above the store, the floors above the store, and the elevator in that lobby area also will take you beneath to the Target headquarters parking ramp. So the Target headquarters is on like the 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th floor of that building, where Target makes all their decisions. So a lot of people, when they go to downtown, they don't notice that literally the entrance to Target's headquarters is a Target store, because when like you live in the suburbs you're not used to like being like a physical. It's like Walmart having a physical Walmart store in their headquarters. A lot of people in the suburbs, they don't think about that. And and I didn't know that either when I first moved into downtown, because I was thinking suburban style. But so I get off there, and I wait for the 18, and now I'm smelling like Axe, right? And I'm just so then I get that adventure. Then I'm coming home that day, and then of course because Nicollet has a stop at Lake Street, and then it has a stop at Chicago, and through South Minneapolis is after it goes through Richfield, because the Nicollet Avenue / Nicollet Mall, because it goes after it leaves downtown, it goes Nicollet Mall to Nicollet Avenue, and it goes all the way through Richfield, and it goes all the way through Bloomington, and it ends in southern Bloomington. So then I get through Richfield fine. I get through halfway through South Minneapolis, and of course troubled teenagers hop on Lake Street, and it's always Lake Street that's the problem. It's always Lake Street that's the problem in South Minneapolis. If Lake Street just disappeared, half of South Minneapolis's problems would disappear. But so then these kids get on, and they start fights on the bus, and I'm just praying, thank God they're not targeting me. They were targeting a lady sitting, and a bunch of people sitting in the back of the bus, and they didn't even pay. They just walked in the front door, walked past the driver. They didn't even pay. And that's when I knew trouble, because when people don't pay for the bus, trouble's going to happen. And, they start a fight in the back, and then the bus driver threatens, hey, I'm going to call the cops, and you guys can get arrested if you don't leave the bus. So then, be lucky there's a guy who's brave enough to step between these teenagers and the lady who they're picking on, because if that guy wasn't brave enough, they would got their butts kicked by this lady. And I would say, and when the cops came, I would have told the cops that those kids deserve to get their butts kicked, because they were throwing their basketballs and stuff at the back of the lady's head. So, if she did beat them up, I'm totally on the lady's side when it comes to that, because the kids totally deserve to be their butts kicked. But, thank God there's that brave man who stepped in between, because, I was just going to say, lady, kick their butts. I hope you win. I hope those naughty teenagers get exactly what they deserve. And then if guns were going to come out, I was just going to leave the bus, because, I'm one of those people that, I now live in Anoka County. I live in Columbia Heights. I don't really care what happens in Minneapolis anymore, and Hennepin County anymore. I only care about what's happening in my county, because am now a Anoka County resident and I live in Columbia Heights, so I care more what's happening in my county now. But I'm just trying to go home, and this kind of stuff happens. It's public transportation. It's available to the public, and some members of our society are not respectful of other people's time and other people's stuff. And I just wish that Metro Transit would go into the Somalian community or the Asian community or the Native American community and say, hey, please come be security for the bus services that you use. Because if you don't protect the bus services that you use, less people would come use them, and then you will lose them. Because people need to know that if people like me who live on the suburbs don't feel comfortable taking public transit because through these people's communities, because a lot of times when I go through South Minneapolis, on the way to Cheryl's house, I got thirsty, so I got off the 18, went to this mom and pop grocery shop, bought some soda because I was thirsty, hopped back on the next 18 because it comes every 15 minutes, and kept on going away to Cheryl. If I don't feel comfortable taking the 18 bus, I just won't go see Cheryl, and I won't stop at the businesses on the way to go see Cheryl, my friend that lives in Bloomington. So if the public transportation is not going to be safe, people like me are not going to come to your community and spend money. And I'm going to tell other people not to come to your community and spend money because I'm not having a good experience there. So then you have to tell people like the Somalians, the African Americans, the Hispanic Americans, hey, if you want people to take public transportation, your public transportation, and keep the public transportation making money, and you want these people to come to your community with the public transportation and spend money there, you guys need to come work for the bus company and come become security and sit on these buses and protect the people on these buses. So, because, I take the 10 between Columbia Heights and Blaine, or take the 801 that goes from Brooklyn Center through Columbia Heights, through St. Anthony to Rosedale Mall, or I'll take the 10 down to Northeast, and I'll take the 32 that goes from Robbinsdale through North Minneapolis, through Northeast Minneapolis, through St. Anthony, and then into Rosedale, to Rosedale Mall. So I would take those buses because I feel safe. I will shop along the businesses on those two buses because I feel safe on those two buses. And I feel safe because, I can get off, shop, fill up my grocery cart with full stuff in those communities, hop back on the safe bus, and then go home. But, when I'm going through South Minneapolis, the buses to me don't feel because on the train, when I used to live in downtown and then go to Bloomington, I would take the train, right? When homeless people come up and try to grope me, and they stole my Beats headphones, the one my mom gave me, and I love those Beats headphones, but I'm not going to risk my life with a mentally ill person over Beats headphones. And I was very disappointed when I lost those headphones. And to me, I didn't when I lived in downtown, I didn't want to feel I want to go to Burlington, take the train, get off at Lake Street, shop at Burlington, eat at the Chinese restaurant, and then take the train home, because that Lake Street station never feels safe for me. And that strip mall around there, transit can't protect that, but didn't feel really safe either. So why would I go there and spend money? And then when I used to take the D bus from downtown through South Minneapolis to get to the Mall of America to work, that bus was safer than the train, like way safer. But because, they don't check if you pay, because it's one of those buses where they trust you to pay at the platform, and then both doors open, the bus hops on and comes, and you just hop on the bus. So it's a trust system. But the issue with that is then you get troublemakers who just hop on the bus without paying and cause problems on the D. I like the old school buses where they didn't trust you to pay first, and you literally have to wait in line to pay. Because then if you refuse to pay, the driver can just kick you off right then. And then you're not, and those people who are causing trouble on those buses where they trusting you to pay at the platform are off those buses. Because when I take the 7, when I take the 11, when I take the 10, when I take the 23, when I take the 801, they're one of those things that the payment system's literally on the bus, and you have to physically stand there in front of the driver and pay. And then the driver, that's the time when the driver and security can kick people off the bus, because, if they're not willing to even pay and they're causing trouble, then, you can kind of stop that from spreading on the bus. And I feel like every bus in the Metro Transit system, city bus, should have one security guard. And they should sit in the far left or right corner of the bus. And when trouble people get on, they can walkie-talkie, and then they can just clear people out. And then we need the African-American community, the Somalian community, and Hispanic American community to become Metro Transit security guards and to protect the city bus. Because I might be lucky, my cousin lives in South Minneapolis, and my friend Cheryl lives in Bloomington, Richfield area that I have to go through South Minneapolis. If my cousin did not live in South Minneapolis, and if my friend lived in Bloomington, I wouldn't take public transportation through that area. Because I would bike through that area because the bike paths are safe. I feel comfortable on the bike paths because, not that many troublemakers are like, we're going to bike. So the bike paths are fine, but a lot of the public transportation isn't safe in South Minneapolis. But because there's no security, making sure the troublemakers are off. So I only really take public transportation to South Minneapolis or through South Minneapolis to go see my cousin because I care about my cousin, or to go see my friend Cheryl that I care about. And then because I'm sick of being bothered by people's mental health that always and a homeless that always want something from me. I'm sick of being pestered on public transportation. I'm sick of being attacked by homeless people / people's mental health on the buses and on the trains. I just stay to the city buses on the suburbs because they're even the bus that goes through Brooklyn Center and into Brooklyn Park. They have the buses I have out here in the Columbia Heights area where you have to pay before you get on right by the front door. And I know it's slower than trusting people pay at the platform, but that deters bad people from getting on the bus. And, having security guards, having one security guard on the bus, each bus, would also be good. And they need to be Hispanic, Somalian, or African American security guards because it can't be white security guards. I'm saying they can't because that will just cause more problems on the public transportation system. I'm sorry to say it sounds discriminatory, but that's the way. Those are the people who have to be white. They can't use white security guards on the Metro Transit public system because most of the people who take that public transportation system are minorities. And if you have minority security guards on buses that are public transportation systems that are helping minority people in at least the Minneapolis area travel around, it's going to work. Everything's going to work better. And then, in Minneapolis and St. Paul, the people who take the busing are more normal people, like the businessman trying to get to work, or the teacher trying to get to work, or the nurse try to get to work. So in Minneapolis, where it's hard to find room for your car, it's hard to find parking because people are stacked on top of each other like sardines, it makes sense for normal people to take the bus. But where I am in the first ring suburbs, where most people have money for a single family home and a car, or be like my brother Taylor and his wife Emily, who live in a nice apartment. Those are the normal people out in the first ring suburbs. If you see people like me who are actually taking the city bus in the first ring suburbs, just know there's something wrong with us. And I'm telling you this to normal people so they know that what to expect when you're normal and you're approaching, a major, station out in the suburbs. So they're going to be low income, or they're going to be disabled like me, we can't drive because our vision's bad, or they're going to have some kind of mental health issues. If Tim Walz came up to the news and said, hey, we're going to let self-driving Teslas be illegal. All disabled people who want to, they can take a loan out and buy themselves a Tesla, and we're going to trust Teslas driving them around. I would drop public transportation. I would drop it. I would say I would get a loan from Tesla or from the government if they were giving disabled people loans for that. And I would go buy myself a beautiful self-driving Tesla. And be lucky, me and my mom's place here in Columbia Heights has a parking garage that no one's using. I would put my self-driving Tesla there, and I would take that self-driving Tesla everywhere I wanted to go, because Metro Mobility isn't reliable, and the city bus with Metro Transit isn't safe, because I keep getting verbally attacked because of who I am, and sexually attacked. I got robbed in the train. It's just because of lack of security. It's not safe. I read an article by MN Post that they want to put turnstiles on the train, the blue and green line trains, to make sure that you pay to be able to get on the train. And MN Post was against it. I think MN Post is wrong. And I think MN Post should wake up to reality that they want people taking public transportation, and the Star Tribune and NPR and KSTP, KARE 11, WWCO, those woke media companies that we have in Minnesota. Fox 9 is okay. Because Fox 9, they're not like extreme like Fox, but they're not liberal like the other media companies here in Minnesota. So Fox 9 is my favorite channel to read because they're in the middle. Alpha News is also good, but they're kind of like extreme. Star Tribune is good, but they're totally woke. They're not in the middle. NPR used to be good, but now they're not woke. So they don't really do good reporting. They're just like, we need more public transportation. Everyone should get rid of their cars so then we can save the environment. Well, sorry to say, I don't care about the environment. I care about my safety. If public transportation is not safe, the environment can go to hell, because I care about my safety more than the environment. Because if the environment falls apart here on Earth, I can go to Elon Musk and say, please blast me to space. And I can hop on his little rocket and I can go to space and I'll go to Mars and start over. That's how I feel. We can start a Star Wars galactic universe if Earth goes to hell. That's my plan. That's my plan. If Russia wants to nuke us and kill us all, I'm going to say, Elon Musk, can I escape with you to Mars, please? You can be my supreme leader, Elon Musk. Just let me go to Mars with you, please. So, jokes aside, so I believe that the Green Line train and the Blue Line train will benefit from turnstiles. So you have to literally put your to-go card or evidence of payment to a screen, and then the thing will let you in. Because I want people to enjoy public transportation, and I want public transportation to be safe. Because if pretend my Aunt Diane was saying, oh, Dustin, I want to go to the Vikings game. Should I park at the park and ride in Bloomington and take the train in? I would say only do it on a popular day where there's a sports event or something where there's going to be hundreds of people on the train, where the bad people are not going to be on the train that day. If it's a random Monday, is there not going to be that much people on the train? I'll say no. Just drive in the downtown park, walk to where you need to go, and then drive home. But if it's like a Vikings game or something, that'll be a different story, because that'll be like thousands of people on the train and no one's going to harass you in front of thousands of people. But if it's a random Tuesday, I would say don't just drive into downtown, park, go to where you want to go, and then drive home. Be lucky Target Center has 3 massive parking ramps. So Target Center, that's going to be the stadium up in the north part of downtown. US Bank is the south part of downtown. And most of the fun things to do are in the north part of downtown. Because the south part of downtown is just abandoned office buildings that no one needs anymore. Abandoned office buildings that no one needs anymore because people can work from home. And baby boomers are just not adjusting to the times because they're baby boomers. And apartments. Well, if you go to the northern part of downtown where I used to live, up by the LaSalle Plaza, I literally had Crave, I had the Gay 90s by my house, my old apartment. I used to have the Saloon. Remember, the Gay 90s is the Democrat gay bar. The Saloon is the Republican gay bar. So 2 different atmospheres. And then you had the straight strip club, I think it's called the Rhino. And then you had Tom's Bar for people, Tom's Watch Bar for people like me who hate clubs. So I used to go to Crave or I used to go to Tom's Watch Bar because I just hate clubs. I don't like being claustrophobic because of my autism. And my low vision is hard for me to see everything going around, so I rely on my ears. So with a big thing like a club, I hear boom, 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 and I can't orientate myself. And there's so many people that I strain my eyes more trying to see the little I can. And then everyone's cramming me and I don't have my space. So and then the drinks are awful. I heard from older millennials online, the food's a ripoff. Half the women don't even want to talk to you anymore. So why even spend and waste that time at clubs? And in the gay clubs, like the Gay 90s is a little bit too flary for me. If I was going to go to a club in downtown Minneapolis, I would go to the Saloon because they're more a Republican gay club where people wear blue jeans, coats, like normal coats, T-shirts. They ride Harley Davidson motorcycles. They have tough man cars. You know what I mean? They're more of the tougher gays. Well, the gay 90s is more of the non-tougher gays. So, you mean if I was going to go clubbing in downtown, I would definitely choose the saloon over the 90s. But the saloon is a little bit more crammed. But if I was going to go clubbing, that's more my personality. So, it's be lucky on Target Center. It's just like right, like 2 blocks over, like 2 blocks north. And those 2 blocks are very easy to walk. It's very paved, very nice crosswalks. I would just tell people, if you want to go to downtown and party, just go to Target Center, because Target Center has 3 massive parking ramps that are so big that it could be a whole freaking apartment building. So there's like ramp A, there's ramp B, and there's ramp C. C is like located right behind First Avenue. And then there's I don't know, it's hard for me to explain where A is, because A is kind of in between that ramp and the stadium, and B is kind of behind that. So, because it's built like a giant L shaped. So, and then there's skyways between the ramps. So if you park in A, you can easily take skyway walks all the way to C. And then once you get to C, you can hit like the road behind First Avenue. And then you can just walk to Hennepin between that sidewalk that goes from the ramp to First Avenue. And don't pay for the stupid parking lot, surface lots on Hennepin, because they know that those people are dumb and don't know where the parking ramps are. So don't park on those surface lots on Hennepin. Just go to Target Center, park at and those parking ramps at Target Center are owned by the city of Minneapolis. So they kind of give you a discount because they want more people to party in downtown. So go to those parking ramps, park there. Don't, please, at night in Minneapolis, please don't take the public transit. Please don't. Not after 5 o'clock. Please don't take the public transit. Just drive, park at one of the 3 massive ramps at Target Center, and just walk, and then party, and then walk, and this drive home if you're sober enough. Or if you can't drive, walk back to the parking ramp, because those parking ramps have a little Uber pickup spots, and then have your Uber pick you up there. Because it's going to be easier for your Uber to pick you up at that ramp than on Hennepin Avenue. Because after like 5 o'clock, do not take, like Monday through Thursday, do not take public transit. Even some Friday nights, because there's not enough security to protect all the city buses in Minneapolis. So sometimes the weirdos go on and cause problems. So if you can drive, please just drive to Minneapolis, park at the ramps at Target Center, and just until they make the public transportation system more safe, just park there. Just park at Target Center, party at everything walkable distance from the ramps at Target Center. And there's so many restaurants around Target Center that there's so many restaurants between that stadium and the Mississippi River. It's like over 50 restaurants over there, and that you guys should be easily able to find something to eat and party at walking distance from that parking ramp. If you guys can't, you guys are being picky and making a big excuse. Yeah, so you mean, and then when I also take public transportation, I'm always like, definitely once I hit Minneapolis and I'm transferring to a different bus and I'm going through South Minneapolis, I'm always on edge. Like, okay, what troublemaker's getting on the bus now? What am I gonna do if someone pulls out a gun during a fight here in the bus? What's my escape plan? You know what I mean? So that's why if you guys go through my reels, I posted a little video of a fight that almost happened. Because, when I'm telling you these stories, it's hard to believe, like, oh, Dustin's just pulling a story out of his ass to scare people because he wants people using cars instead of public transportation. To me, I'm disabled. I need public transportation, so I don't want it. I don't want to scare people away from it because I want it to make money. So I'm not stuck using Metro Mobility to get around because Metro Mobility isn't reliable. Because Metro Mobility isn't reliable, the disabled people ride sharing service. Because Metro Mobility isn't reliable, I have to pray that Metro Transit and the city bus stays in business. Because if the city bus is the same business, I can't work. I can't go grocery shopping without begging for Metro Mobility to have a driver to take me. So, so I just wanted to make a little video. And in this video, the way I make these videos it's made if you have if you have YouTube Premium, is just for you to lock your phone screen and listen to me in the background. Or if you're listening to this for free, just, put your phone in the background and just keep doing your dishes and stuff because, I don't make money off these, so I'm not investing thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars into graphics when I'm making $0 on this. And I'm just making these videos as a hobby, and because I'm doing it as a hobby, I'm doing it planning to be broke. And I just, wanted to release this video saying that just if you're definitely a woman and you're planning to take the city bus, just carry a small knife with you, like a tiny knife, just a tiny knife, and go to a school. Like you can go to Cabela's, Fleet Farm, Gander Mountain, and they'll teach you how to use that little knife and what's legal to carry on you. So then if any of these pervert homeless people trying to touch you inappropriate, like what they did me, or grope you or rob from you, you can defend your shit. I finally had enough money saved where I can finally buy myself new Beats Pro headphones last week. Yay, it took me about 5 months to do it, but I finally have enough money to buy myself Beats Pro headphones because I like it because me as a visually impaired man, when I'm listening to music and stuff, and when I'm listening to Google Maps or Apple Maps or stuff, the headphones will read to me the notifications that Google Maps and Apple Maps is telling me. And then, me as a visually impaired man, and I'm crowded on this bus, don't always have to elbow people to look at my phone. So because the Beats headphones comes with really good accessibility features, me as a blind visually impaired person, I can travel easier with and all that with them when I'm taking public transit. So I hope this makes sense. And if you live in South Minneapolis and are African American, Somalian American, or Hispanic American, please think about taking the $21 plus an hour job and being security for the city bus. I know, and then, because it'll be good because those troubled teenagers can look at you as a good role model. You're helping the community, you're getting good pay, you're getting good benefits. And then it makes people like me who are going through your city in your neighborhood on public transportation feel safe. Like when I'm shopping and then whatever, and I'm hopping on the bus, I feel safe, and I'll keep coming back and spending money in your neighborhoods. So I don't mean this video to be scary. I don't mean this video to scare people from off public transportation, but I'm making this video because the Star Tribune, MN Post, Bring Me the News, Alpha News Minnesota, Care 11, WWCO, Fox 9, let me think, The Reformer, Minnesota Reformer, MN Safety, Crime Watch, and then the Sierra Journal, and the St. Paul Pioneer Press / Twin Cities Pioneer Press. They keep on changing their freaking name. They're not mentioning the solutions to how to fix the public transportation problem. And the issue is, and those newspapers are so woke or so conservative. Like the conservative papers are like, we just need to close down all public transportation, and then disabled people can just take Metro Mobility around. Yeah, that'll work for, I won't complain about that because all those city bus drivers can become Metro Mobility drivers and the service will be better for us disabled people. But people can't meet Metro Mobility's specifications to be called disabled, because you have to, like, Metro Mobility tests you to see how disabled you are. And only the worst of the worst disabled people get onto Metro Mobility. So if you're a person with less disability than me, but you're still considered disabled, you might not get the service, and then you're stuck. So all these extreme right videos, these extreme right videos and extreme right news organizations are like, no public transportation for anyone, yay! And the extreme left news videos and the extreme left articles are like, we need everyone to take public transit. We need to destroy every parking ramp in Minneapolis. We need to destroy every parking lot, build apartments, build bike lanes, and no more cars in the city. Yay! No, we need to balance it. We need to balance the car ramps. We need to balance public transportation. And we need to both make them safe. Right, because right now, the safest way to get around Minneapolis is by biking. So, but I don't want to bike. So when it's cold. So, well, I hope this is an eye-opener for people, because that's why I'm making the video. I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.